that the journey of the soul never ever ends. This soul, it only moves from one place to the next place to the next place, from one phase to the next phase. This is what we believe. After our physical bodies cease to exist, the soul travels on. It has a much further and distant journey to cover. So we want to make sure that our soul is ready for that journey, because that journey is not going to end. So, having done this, having come into contact with our true inner being, and having rediscovered our purpose of life, which we believe is to serve the Almighty Creator, and to be obedient to Him, and to carry out His commands in the world, we celebrate the occasion where we were allowed to do that, we were permitted to do that from our busy lives, from all our worldly responsibilities. We got a chance to take out some time to get into a more intimate interaction with our actual purpose of being. And so we thank Him, and we praise Him, and we celebrate the occasion of Eid. And it is a festivity where you will find all kinds of food and drink and all kinds of gifts being exchanged. And the kids, they have it the best, because whoever they meet, they get something from them. So the kids, piggy banks get filled up pretty quickly on Eid. And it's great. And all of that is actually a celebration of the ability to have been able to give some time to our soul. And it doesn't stop there. Ramadan for the Muslim comes with a very important message. Ramadan tells the Muslim that, look, and this is a lesson that we all can take, that look, if you live this life respecting the parameters and the limits set by the Creator, and you have to discipline yourself in order to abide with those limits, but if you can do it, and you have this great festival of Eid to look forward to. Similarly, if you can live this life, just like Ramadan, you don't have to fast all your life, you don't have to abstain from food and drink, but just respect the limits, respect the laws, respect the rights of your Creator, and respect the rights of other people. If you can do that, you have a great festival to look forward to in the life hereafter. This is basically the significance and the symbolism of Ramadan and Eid. And it is really, I believe, that this is just one aspect of Islam, which, we could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, but I think it has there's a lot of wealth of knowledge, as I said, that can be shared and benefited from by people all over the world. Just like that, there are many things in Islam. Growing up in Edmonton, that's my hometown, okay, we went through many experiences as Muslims growing up in Canada. We saw all kinds of conditions and situations, attitudes, influences, both positive and negative. We have seen the beauties and the wonders of multiculturalism, and we have seen firsthand the harms of racism and prejudice. We have seen the beauty of the people when it comes to welcoming and sharing and benefiting from other cultures, and we have also seen extreme cases of narrow-mindedness. And being where we are today, in this day, in this age, I must say that Islam is a religion that needs to be understood from the people of Islam. You need to go to the people of Islam to learn about Islam. It is a great misfortune, and it is greatly unfortunate that today the primary source for learning about Islam, for most people of the world, is the media. And that means that people are learning Islam from a propaganda machine, which is engineered for just that, for a specific kind of propaganda, which could change at any time, based on specific political goals or necessities or whatever you look at it. But I will tell you that if you want to learn about Islam, go to the knowledgeable Muslims. Go to them, sit with them. Some of you might have Muslim neighbors. You might have your kids playing with Muslim kids. You will find that Muslims are pretty much just like any other people in the world. They have the same virtues and they have the same flaws. They have the same weaknesses and they have the same strength. And there is not, in this manner, religion is a very wonderful thing because every religion invites its followers to be the best that they can be. And in the end, that's all we have. All we have is that effort of trying to make ourselves better and better and better. And I think every religion has provisions for that. Every religion has texts geared towards that, towards high morals, towards good behavior, towards kindness, towards all of the things that the world needs. We have on the other side people who are saying that religion is the cause of problem. Religion is the cause of division. Religion is the cause of a great deal of strife in the world. But I don't agree with that. I think every religion has a lot of riches. It has a lot of treasures. And I think there is a great deal that people can benefit from each other. If the interaction is right, if the intentions are correct, if the hearts are pure, and if the intention is correct, I think we can get a great deal out of this kind of interaction. Thirdly, I think that wonderful people like yourselves that have assembled here, I think we should do a little bit of research and try to discover where Islam is coming from and what the typical or ideal Muslim is supposed to be like. If you do a neutral study on the history of Islam, from neutral sources, and I don't say, in this I would say even use sources that are non-Muslim, you will find that all historians have recorded a great deal of contributions that Muslims have made to modern day society. And it's not like, I want to make it look like this is a feather in our cap. The point is not that Muslims did it. That's not the point. The point is that Muslims, like other people, have always been contributing to society just like the other nations. If you pick up the field of chemistry, you will find at the forefront of the whole field, the whole science of chemistry, you will find that Muslims were the fathers of chemistry. If you look at minerals and the science of minerals, you will find the enormous contributions Muslims have made just to discovering the elements that you have on the periodic table of elements. You go into engineering, you go into the distilling of oils, fragrances, you go into the world of restaurants, you go into the world of academia, you will find that in the whole world, in the history of the world, non-Muslims historians have documented that it was the Muslims who created the first formal universities where people come in, they get admitted, there is a series of levels they have to pass, they are tested and examined, and after that they're given degrees. The Muslims came up with that system. You might not know this. The first navigational instrument in the world that actually worked to take people from one place to the other, you could fit in the palm of your hand, it was invented by a Muslim lady named Fatima. That was the ancient GPS system. What is known today as the Astrolabe. She was Fatima Astrolabi. It's actually the Astrolabe, that name, it comes from her name. So it goes on and on and on. I've given 1 hour, 2 hour lectures just on this. My message is that we should appreciate the contribution of every culture and of every heritage. We should appreciate the contributions of all colors, of all languages. But whatever happens, do not take your source of knowledge, or do not take your knowledge from the propaganda machine, because it is directed to take you in a specific direction. And it is doing that for most people. I hope the people of Canada are smarter, they're wiser, and they don't fall into many of the pitfalls that people south of the border did. And we hope from the officials and the leadership of the country that they will continue to maintain an environment of friendliness, an environment of love, of acceptance, and together we will address issues. If there is an issue, if there is a crime, it's a crime no matter who does it. And everyone is responsible for addressing that crime and making sure it is taken care of. That is a common responsibility between Muslims and non-Muslims. And if we can do that, I think a great deal of progress can take place in communities such as this and communities all across Canada. So I thank you for your time and the ability and the opportunity to come and speak, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the future.